This is CBC Here and Now.
This one felt different. I felt like I was going to die today.
Confusion at College of the North Atlantic.
As a social media threat leads to a lockdown. Good evening, I'm Debbie Cooper.
And I'm Anthony Germain. Now, we're going to get to that story in just a moment. But first, the main contractor at the Muskrat Falls site is in financial trouble.
Astaldi has filed for protection from its creditors in Italy. But as Peter Cowan reports, work has not stopped.
Astaldi isn't going bankrupt, at least not right now. What it's doing is it's trying to get out of a financial mess that it's found itself in. It's been trying to sell a bridge in Turkey. That would give it some much needed cash in order to be able to continue operating. There's been a delay, and so now it's going through a sort of bankruptcy protection in order to make sure that creditors don't shut the company down. Astaldi has made it clear it will continue to operate, it'll continue to bid on projects, and that it's essentially business as usual, but it does admit that there have been some operational issues with projects. What could they be talking about there? Well, last night on Here and Now, we told you how Astaldi hasn't been paying some of the union dues that it's been collecting. In fact, there is a court lien that's been put on place on some of the Muskrat Falls assets so the union can make sure that it gets paid. But through this whole process, the one thing we don't know right now is just what impact this proceeding in Italy will have on the Muskrat Falls project here in Labrador. Peter Cowan, CBC News, St. John's.
Now, late this afternoon, Nowcor released a statement saying it is watching the situation.
Work at the site continues and Astaldi gets paid as it finishes work. It also says there are financial protections in place to make sure that that work gets done.
Police are investigating a social media threat that led to a lockdown at the College of the North Atlantic today. The Prince Philip Drive campus in St. John's was barred off this morning. Here Now's Katie Breen has more.
This wasn't a drill. The threat was real, and so was the fear.
We all got emails on our college email, and all of a sudden, lockdown, right? And we all scrambled, shut down the windows, close the doors.
Everybody realized what was going on. The tension rose a little bit. Some people got a bit anxious, but as a class, we kind of calmed each other down.
There's rumors that it was a woman with a weapon. We don't know what weapon or really anything else besides that.
Not gonna lie, scariest moment of my life.
While the lockdown was on, students and staff were texting friends and family, refreshing social media, looking for updates. At first, it wasn't clear if the threat was even real. Not everyone took it seriously, but people did the protocol and stayed inside.
It was the first time I actually ever experienced a real one, and we've been practicing them since early 2000s. So it was a little scary, but obviously everybody's safe, so.
It's definitely scary. You don't expect that type of thing to happen here. So, I don't know, it makes you kind of wonder what kind of people, you know what I mean, that you don't realize are walking around.
Back at my old school, we used to have bomb threats a lot, and we'd always have to go to the next school over, but this one felt different. I felt like I was going to die today.
While the RNC was on the scene today and is investigating, the force didn't issue the lockdown. That was the school. Police won't be disclosing the nature of today's threat, but say the public is no longer at risk. No one was injured, and there hasn't been an arrest. As for the school, it's going to remain closed over the weekend. Classes will start back up on Monday. Some students I spoke with today are fine with that, but others are apprehensive about going back. Katie Breen, CBC News, St. John's.
Moving now to the labor war between Unifor and aerospace company DJ Composites. It's what Unifor has been asking for all along, a meeting with Premier Dwight Ball. The Premier's office tells CBC News that meeting is going to happen on Monday. The union represents Gander workers who've been laid off the job now for 647 days. Hundreds of Unifor members flew to Gander to rally behind them and join in blockading the entrance to the Gander factory. Now, we've just learned that both sides are going to be in court Tuesday to discuss that blockade. It's certainly been a war of words between Unifor and DJ Composites, with the company referring to Unifor workers as thugs who created an illegal picket line, and the union accusing the company of refusing to negotiate.
A critic of the Muskrat Falls project has clarified a comment he made to the CBC, but he's not apologizing to Danny Williams. In an interview earlier this month, former public servant Ron Penny suggested anyone who criticized the mega project could be threatened or harmed. He said under Williams, people with financial ties to the government were afraid to speak out. Now, after the threat of legal action, Penny is taking that back. In a statement today, he said he didn't mean to imply that Williams himself made threats.
Well, after launching a divisive campaign back in 2016 to break up the Fish, Food and Allied Workers Union, Fish NL's application for certification has been denied by the Labor Board. The FFAW asserts that with only 10,000 inshore fish harvesters, Fish NL doesn't have enough support to warrant a vote. The FFAW represents harvesters and those who work in seafood processing plants. Fish NL wanted to represent harvesters only.
The City of St. John says, put those water jugs away. The tap water is just fine. City staff gave an update to journalists today on manganese levels. Here now's Ryan Cook reports.
Well, turn on your taps, West Enders. This water should be fine. After several weeks of a heightened manganese risk, the city says that this water should be clear and safe to drink. But was the risk ever really that high?
This chart maps 221 water tests around the city since June, of which 7 were above the acceptable level for infants. But Chris Nolan of Eastern Health says that even those higher levels weren't that serious.
An infant would pretty much have to spend their entire existence drinking water at a much higher elevated level. This level is designed to be the maximum that an infant can drink constantly for their whole life and have no health effects. So in order to have a health effect, it would have to be much higher.
Manganese often causes water to take on a brownish tint. It exists naturally in the Petty Harbour Long Pond Reservoir, but heightened levels usually stem from sediment getting into the water main.
Now, a number of those higher readings came from out here in Shea Heights, where there was a water main break related to some pretty major construction. The effects of that break flowed downstream into the west end of St. John's, bringing some higher levels of manganese along with it.
While it wasn't a major health concern, the city did set up water stations and advised residents not to drink their water if it was discolored.
I don't think you can ever overreact when it comes to the water supply. As soon as we see the trend develop, and we saw the trend occur there around August 28th, we made the advisory to the residents, and I think that's good practice on our part, and I think it's what the public expects.
With some major construction projects around the city, broken lines and dirty water may happen from time to time. But for now, 3 out of 4 water stations are closing, and the city believes the manganese maladies should be over. Ryan Cook, CBC News, St. John's.
The first ever St. John's International Circus Festival is in town. I'm Jeremy Eaton. I'm learning lots about it, and I'll have that story coming up.
Well, happy Friday, everyone. We have some heavy rain and high winds hitting the island's southwest coast tonight. But once that passes, we're looking at some warm temperatures in central and the east tomorrow. It could reach 20 degrees in St. John's tomorrow. Details coming up.
Changes are coming to ambulance services in Newfoundland and Labrador, and it has some operators worried about their future. The province is committed to streamlining operations, but critics say they're opening the door to a takeover. Here now's Garrett Barry reports.
Well, devastating is the word, gone, history, and absolutely nothing I could do about it.
That is his big fear, that after 30 years of business, changes to the ambulance industry will leave him behind.
Your funding is gone. We're under one operator, and I'm left holding the bag with all my equipment, machineries, buildings, what have you, right?
The Department of Health is moving to take over responsibility of ambulances. Right now, that is spread across many government departments, but the change likely means opening up the bidding process for the contracts.
If the government calls for a procurement, they can open up to anybody to make a single bid on the province, and it will go one single operator for the whole province.
Delaney's is one of 61 operators running 3 ambulances from Glovertown. Far too small to bid on a possible province-wide contract.
Well, first of all, we're out the door.
Not so fast, says the Minister of Health.
From my point of view, I have a blank sheet of paper and I'm looking forward to the discussions.
He says no decision has been made about how many companies will get a piece of the pie.
We are undecided on how it should look. Would it be regionally provided? Would it be provincially provided? And if so, by whom? Those are all items for discussion. And again, that's one of the reasons why we need some time to get this crafted.
The minister says these changes are needed to bring ambulance services up to par.
If you remember, we've had 3 Fitch reports, and they showed us ways that we needed to redesign and reboot our ambulance service.
These changes aren't coming into effect for another year and a half, but already some private operators are responding. CBC News has obtained a memo sent to staff at Freaks Ambulance in Lewisport. They've told their employees that unless government changes course, they will be shutting down. Garrett Berry, CBC News, Gander.
To Washington, D.C. now, where the Senate Judiciary Committee has voted in favor of Brett Kavanaugh's appointment to the U.S. Supreme Court. But the drama is not over. Cavanaugh needs a full Senate vote on his confirmation, but that's being delayed to give the FBI some time to investigate Christine Blasey Ford's allegations that Cavanaugh sexually assaulted her in high school.
I think it would be proper to delay the floor vote for up to, but not more than 1 week, in order to let the FBI continue to do an investigation limited in time and scope to the current allegations that are there. We ought to do what we can to make sure that we do all due diligence with a nomination this important.
Now, the committee agreed to that investigation, and a request will be made through the White House for the FBI to begin.
MUN's new Signal Hill campus has been completely remade, and it's about to open its doors. If you step inside, you'll have a hard time picturing it as the old Battery Hotel in St. John's. In fact, as Here Now Zach Gowdy is about to show you, the only thing that remains the same is the view.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer.
No worries. Come on in, Zach.
Wow.
I know, hey? What do you think?
It's a wow moment. There's no doubt about it.
This is exactly where people would have come in for the old hotel. You can't even recognize it.
I can't even imagine
right?
where it used to be. Tell me about the concept behind the design.
Yeah, we spoke with so many people and organizations to collectively imagine what this place could be. And so what we've resulted in here is this beautiful staircase that brings in elements of naval architecture when we're looking at the curves in the cement, when we're looking at the colors of the wood and the grain in the wood. But as your eye comes up and we see this beautiful wall here, it's really the fins of a boat that are thinning into a picket fence, a washed out picket fence that any of us would recognize, but we don't even necessarily know that that's what it is, but it just makes us feel comfortable when we're here. These are all bookable breakout rooms, seminar rooms. Beautiful. And yes, we've got about 9 of those in the facility.
It's a fantastic location to work. I mean, the light here, the energy in the building is terrific, and as great a place as it is to work, for our clients that come in here, it's an even better place to learn.
Really, it's been designed for collaboration, and that's what the Harris Center is all about. And so it's really neat to be in a space that really encourages that.
Jennifer, the old Battery restaurant was definitely the highlight of the old hotel. Does that space still exist?
Absolutely. We're going to head into it right now. Absolutely. This is it.
Wow.
Yeah. We hear about all of the pancakes eaten here, the weddings held here, the anniversary celebrations, just the Sunday brunches. The amount of community that people feel and experience attached to this room is one of the reasons why we wanted to make sure that it was a space that was accessible to the people.
So everybody else can come and see this for themselves this weekend, hey?
100%. We're totally hoping that people rush down from 2 to 5. We're going to have all kinds of things for the whole family. You can take in a tour. You can see this place for yourself. You can see any number of things that the university and community has on for offer.
Beautiful. Well, thanks so much for showing it to me today, and I hope a lot of people come out on Saturday afternoon and experience this too.
Thanks, Zach. We'd love to see you.
This is G Salon, a new business in downtown St. John's, but the owner faces a problem.
Because they are telling my letter G is so big to my window, so I don't know what to do now.
That story coming up on Here and Now.
Welcome back. A new business owner in St. John says he doesn't understand the city's problem with the letter G. G Sikwan opened a hair and beauty shop and he called it G Salon, but the city told him there was a problem. So this afternoon I met up with G to talk about just what's wrong with his G. Okay, G, apparently this G is too big, so what's happening?
Yeah, when I applied for my signage replacement of the old signage, they said I need to wait another more days, week now, 6 to 8 weeks already. Until now, I haven't get any decent reply. So my worry, most of my clients, they don't even know where am I now. And a lot of people asking if it's tea or salon. So like literally come over and order tea, not a haircut anymore. So I'm a small business here at St. John's. My thing is just to encourage new clients as well to come to us and know us a G Salon, not a tea house anymore.
Okay, so your name is G, the salon is called G, but the city says this G...
It's too big.
It's too big. right?
Yeah,
So
it's occupying the window 50%. So this is
that doesn't look like 50%.
Yes, I know. So I don't know. I do respect whatever the rules is, but I don't know what's my side at the moment. So I'm a bit confused. So what's this all about?
Right. So this is because it's a heritage building. You're not allowed to block. What's the reasoning?
About the heritage thing. So I'm not familiar with that. So I just moved here 4 years ago, and now I'm starting my own business here. And as must thing, I really wanted to start business because we need to promote St. John's. Or small businesses, it should be easier for us. They should be lenient. But as far as I'm concerned, I did all my requirements at the moment. But until now, I still have got approval.
How much do you like this G?
Well, that's me. I really 100%. That's why I really made G. They know, most of my clients knows the pink thing, and my name is G. So I don't like to put a lot of things. So the G is much more easier for me, and it's more cheaper.
You want to keep this G?
Yes, because that's our image as the salon. G is so simple. So it's done just to attract more people here in downtown area, and to most of my previous clients at East End. So because they don't really know where am I now. So now I'm at 15 Le Merchant, not a tea house, but it's G Salon.
Right. It used to be a tea house, but were you surprised that the city would actually say, would take time to tell you that there's an issue with the size of your G?
Actually, Anthony, as much as I'm concerned, I didn't expect that. Because when I checked that before I started business, they're all good when I put all those notices and everything. It's so easy for me, they're so helpful. But when it comes to my signage, I didn't know that they have a particular sizes to put it on your window. But I've seen some of the business besides me, they're huge. How come this one, it won't even occupy the 1/4 of my window?
No, exactly. So what's the penalty if you don't get rid of your G? What can they do?
They just told me that this is the specification that you have to follow. But for this big of window, they just want to like small letter.
You don't want to do that?
No. So that's why signage is the most important for small businesses, just to gain more clients to come in.
Right.
That's my reason. That's why I choose pink. So it's much more brighter, so it's catch attention for those walkers and those driving here.
Right.
So, and that's my name, G officially. And most of my clients, they call me G.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and good luck
Thank
with your
you,
G.
Anthony. Thank you,
I appreciate that.
So, Anthony, there is an update to the story, isn't there?
Yes, Here Now brought to you by the letter G tonight. Now, after Here Now called the city to ask about why they wanted to take G or make G take down his G, they sent him a message, and it looks like the city of St. John's might just let him keep his G after all. They sent him an email which says, your proposed window sign was reviewed by the Built Heritage Experts Panel, and they have recommended approval. This recommendation will go to council. So G is also for good weather, right?
Ah, good one. Actually, the weather is looking pretty good. It's not going to be super sunshiny tomorrow, but the temperatures are looking really nice. In fact, we're looking at a high of 20 degrees in St. John's tomorrow,
20?
and 20, and a humidex 26.
I'll take it.
Not kidding. So let's have a look at the highs today, shall we? Pretty consistent temperatures right across the province today. 14 in St. John's, 15 in Badger, 12 in Labrador City. So yeah, very, very consistent temperature-wise. We do have these showers pushing through the island tonight. So we have a special weather statement in effect for the area between Port aux Basques and Burgeo up through Gros Morne and Bay Verte and the Buckens area. So this area will be seeing pretty heavy rain tonight. Between 25 and 40 millimeters of rain could come with this system. And we also have a wreck house wind warning in effect, gusts up to 100 there tonight. So it's going to be wet and it's going to be very, very windy. So watch out if you're on the roads. This is how it's going to play out overnight, pushing from the southwest to the northeast. Not much action in the east here, about 5 millimeters of rain expected for the Avalon. And we're looking at a chance of some showers for Lab West later on this evening. So these are your amounts. 5 millimeters for the St. John's, Marystown area, 15 millimeters for the St. Anthony, Grand Falls, Windsor, Gander area. But this is really where the heaviest rain is going to come down in the Corner Brook, Port aux Basques, Burgeo area. That's where the 25 to 40 millimeter mark is, and also those high winds as well. And it's going to be pretty breezy going up along the coast with gusts up to 60 there. For Labrador, pretty quiet. 10 millimeters of rain along the straits associated with that system, but mostly cloud for southeastern Labrador and the chance of showers in the west later on tonight, early tomorrow morning. So this system will taper off to some showers on Saturday, but you can see a lot of cloud cover over the island and showers as well for Happy Valley, Goose Bay tomorrow. This is around 3 o'clock tomorrow, and some showers as well for the Burin Peninsula. So lots of showers for most of the island from the east to west, but the Avalon Peninsula seems to be kind of escaping some of this, particularly St. John's. Most of the day we're looking at a lot of cloud cover, maybe some drizzle in the morning, but we're not looking at any heavy showers. So there is a chance of drizzle, but mostly a cloudy day expected tomorrow. 20 degrees as the high. I laugh as I say that because it's interesting. Actually, 2010, the highest temperature was 20.6 degrees. So if we do make 20 degrees, then we're going to be close to a record. And a humidex of 26 there tomorrow, so it's going to be quite humid as we head into central areas. Nice temperatures as well. Gander, Twillingate looking at 18 degrees with some showers there. Some morning showers for the west as that system moves away and tapers off. So we're looking at a cooler temperatures there, 14 degrees. Mary's Harbour looking at a mainly cloudy day with 16 degrees as the high there, and southwesterly winds for the rest of Labrador. Looking at a chance of showers for the west and as well for Nain, and temperatures between 6 and 12 degrees. And a bit later I'll get into Sunday, which is going to be a bit of a cool down. I'll have those details later.
Thanks, Carolyn. Well, this fall marks the 100th anniversary of the arrival of the deadly Spanish flu in this province. The influenza pandemic of 1918 is believed to have killed as many as 50 million people worldwide. Here at home, the Inuit of Labrador were hit particularly hard. 1/3 of the population died that year. Here now's Mark Quinn has our story.
This is where the Spanish flu is said to have arrived in St. John's in 1918. At the time, it was reported in a local newspaper.
A schooner that just came into the harbour. There's 3 men on that schooner, and they are exhibiting signs of the flu. They know that there's something wrong.
Within days, the number of cases in the city exploded. 38-year-old Ethel Dickinson, who had just returned from working with World War I soldiers in Europe, volunteered to help. Sadly, Dickinson eventually contracted the flu and died 2 days later.
She was actually buried on the day that she died. There was no time for mourning. There was no time for grieving. It was, these people must be buried so that there's no more exposure.
But there was an effort made to remember her. This monument in the east end of St. John's was built to honor her sacrifice.
This is a woman who basically gave up her life to work with these sick influenza patients. She didn't have to do it.
It's commonly reported that the flu killed more than 250 people in Newfoundland that year, but Labrador was hit even harder. 500 people, 1/3 of the Inuit population, died there.
Ukak went from a bustling little town to a haunted town.
Descendants of people who witnessed the pandemic say the sheer number of corpses was overwhelming.
I can recall Grandma talking about how they dug a giant hole and put, even to dig that permafrost or frosted ground, they had to light a fire so they can thaw the ground. And they thawed out and dug out a huge hole and put all the bodies in there and buried them up.
As people died, sled dogs were abandoned and went wild. Hundreds of starving animals had to be killed after they began feeding on human corpses.
It's like when you watch a horror movie, you hear of the stories of the werewolves. Like that's all I can picture of the wild, starving husky dogs, actually breaking in, jumping through windows of houses where people have disease.
Horrifying, but Anderson says it should be remembered to underscore the importance of preventative medicine like vaccines. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
Circus Festival!
Yes, the International Circus Festival is in St. John's this weekend.
And that has a lot of people juggling their schedule to make sure they take in the performances. Welcome back, everyone. The first St. John's International Circus Festival is underway this week with a big show tonight at the Arts and Culture Centre.
The four-day event features workshops and performances from artists who come from all over the world. So naturally, we decided to send Here and Now's very own clown, Jeremy Eaton, down to check it all out.
The small thing I have to do is make sure your emotion comes from circumstance.
Mookie Cornish leads a workshop on clowning. For more than 3 decades, clowning around has literally been her job. Today, she wanted to pass on that passion.
We always just share backstage. We share tricks and we share jokes and we share new ideas. So it's definitely in the spirit of circus to share wherever you are.
The workshop is part of the inaugural St. John's International Circus Festival, an idea that was a year in the making, brought to life by Benny Malone and Anahario Dole.
I'm thrilled. You can imagine something on paper and you can, do all the planning for over a year, and then to see it come to life and even exceed those expectations, it's mind-blowing.
Dole herself is a talented performer, just not this week. She's too busy helping put it all together, like this, the NSO and National Circus School show, which is sold out for Friday night.
Exposing Newfoundland to this really high caliber circus, combining it with local components, so it's a really treat to have all these amazing artists all here in Newfoundland for a weekend.
There you go.
And like Mookie, who flew in from Regina, performers have come from all over. Finland, Sweden, Ireland, USA, and all across Canada.
You're just surrounded. If you walk in the streets now, you're going to see some kind of circus performer maybe, or person walking around for sure.
Becca Rose came in from Montreal, offering up a session in juggling.
This workshop will focus on three club tricks. And so we'll look at different ways of throwing and catching.
These folks making it look a lot easier than it really is. Along with the workshops, there are also a number of shows this weekend, including a big one here tonight at the Arts and Culture Centre, followed by back-to-back shows at the CLB and a family fun day on Sunday at Atlantic Place. And if you can't beat them, might as well join them. Jeremy Eaton, CBC News, St. John's.
All this bad publicity is the last thing Cook would wish. The optics posed a problem. Cook outsmarted by a fish.
Parody writing under pressure.
The rest of the song after the break. Well, songwriting can be a labor of love, but what you're about to see is not that. That's because the St. John's Morning Show put musician Sean Panting on the spot in a very big way.
The challenge: CBC Radio listeners suggest a topic, and Sean has 60 minutes to write a funny song about it. Here's how it went this morning.
The fish stocks may be harmed. We don't know what's wild or farmed since the critters at the salmon farm took flight. Now one fine day in Hermitage, Cook Aquaculture tells of a net that was repaired, but maybe not repaired so well. And by the time the gaff had been revealed and they had regained control, 3,000 salmon had escaped by swimming out the holes. All this bad publicity's the last thing Cook would wish. The optics posed a problem. Cook outsmarted by a fish? So they kept the trouble under wraps, for fear folks would be riled, till locals started hauling up farm fish with the wild. The critters at the salmon farm took flight. They're unaccounted for, and that ain't right. The fish stocks may be harmed, we don't know what's wild or farmed. The critters at the salmon farm took flight. So, once found out, the boss at Cook leapt into action quick. But despite all their best efforts, only got 400 fish. They grabbed the phone to tell the folks down at the DFO to see if they were cool with that. I'm guessing that's a no. Now, you can hardly blame those salmon for wanting to explore and fraternize with fishes that they haven't met before. But once they're out, they're hard to catch by any means at hand, unless you're what's-his-face Momoa from that movie Aquaman. The critters at the salmon farm took flight. They're unaccounted for, and that ain't right. The fish stocks may be harmed, we don't know what's wild or farmed. The critters at the salmon farm took flight. So Fred, Chrissy, when you're eating salmon, if that's something that you do, it might be farmed or fresh or combinations of the two. Cook Aquaculture better take some steps to right the wrong and keep the salmon swimming in their pens where they belong. Oh, the critters at the salmon farm took flight. They're unaccounted for, and that ain't right. The fish stocks may be harmed. We don't know what's wild or farmed since the critters at the salmon farm took flight.
Whoa.
Performs well under pressure. Now to a business story that's going to certainly touch people who perhaps might be having some young additions to the family. Most businesses born out of necessity, and that was the case behind Newfoundlander. A new mom was looking for high-quality, fashionable clothes for her baby, not that run-of-the-mill pastel onesies kinds of stuff. In his What Are You At series for Weekend AM, the CBC's Mark Cumby met up with the women behind the company, Newfoundlander.
Hi, I'm Kiri Ivany. Hi, I'm Constanza Zafatli. We specialize in a lot of newborn accessories, so that's where like the bibs come in, the bonnets, we have little summer shoes, we have winter booties, and then we also have products for the nursery room, so we will do like curtains, we will do the whole crib sets. Usually the tents are for the nursery. I'm from Chile. I am a lawyer. I can't work like a lawyer here, so I try to figure out what can I do here.
What brings you here to Newfoundland?
Well, my husband, and he's fishing engineer, and we moved here because he started to do a master in the Marine Institute. So that's why we moved here, for him, the love. I was pregnant, and when my baby born, I tried to find different kind of stuff for baby, and was so hard and expensive. So I bought my sewing machine, so I thought like, why not? Now the new mom, and she don't want to see a teddy bear in the bib. She wants to see something black and white. She wants to see dots or different pattern, but not baby pattern. So I tried to find that kind of a style, and I couldn't.
This is another process step for the bandana bib. So I started off with 2 pieces with right sides together and pinned around, sewed it, flipped it right side out, gave it a little press with the iron, and then we have this. So now I'm going to do the top stitching all around, which is going to reinforce all of our seams and also just add a nice decorative touch. So Connie and I met in early 2018 working on another project, and I was a textile artist here at the Kitty Plantation doing my own work, and I met Connie, and she was running Newfoundland, and she would show me some of the products, and I fell in love with the fabric choices, and it was very innovative products as well. So yeah, we just sort of kind of took to each other, and after a little while of talking about a few things, we just business partnership sort of formed.
We are the perfect couple. Like, she is professional now in this, I am not, but I have a lot of ideas, I love the business, so that's why I thought like we will be a really good partner in business.
I knew nothing about babies.
Yeah,
I
have
know about the
everything
sewing,
now.
you know about the babies.
Welcome back, everyone. Gang's all here.
Yes, indeed we are. Yep.
We're talking about the weather off camera, but now Carolyn is going to tell you about the weather.
Yeah, and it's Friday, so of course everyone wants to know what the weekend weather is going to be, and an interesting forecast actually in store. Let's start by looking at the current temperatures across the province. Temperatures falling tonight, 11 degrees in St. John's right now, 9 degrees in Corner Brook, 11 in Happy Valley, Goose Bay. So the big thing is that we do have this system system coming through the island tonight, starting in the southwest and pushing northeast. We have a special weather statement in effect for the areas between Port aux Basques and Gros Morne, over to the Baie-Verte Peninsula, Buchan's included there, and along the south coast, Burgeo area. So between 25 and 40 millimeters of rain expected in those areas, and it's going to be quite windy right down in the Port aux Basques area. Wreck house wind warning with gusts up to 100 kilometers an hour tonight. Should start to taper off in the morning, but this is what we're looking at. You can see how heavy these showers are here, so expect maybe some downpours in some places. So we're looking at 6 o'clock now, so this should be coming through at the moment as we speak, pushing up through the northern peninsula and Baie-Verte there. Gander is going to see some rain. Pretty much most of the island will be seeing some rain from this overnight tonight. And here's the really heavy rain around 1 o'clock and then continuing on to taper off once we get into Saturday. So yeah, 25, 40 millimeters of rain, as I said, in the west and southwest. Windy there as well, so it's going to be very wet, very windy. If you're driving, you'll definitely want to be careful of hydroplaning in those areas tonight. In terms of rainfall amounts, we're looking at about 15 millimeters of rain up along the northern peninsula and for the Gander area, about 5 millimeters for the St. John's area and the Marystown area as well. So cooler overnight lows for Labrador between 5, 6 degrees there. So as we get into Saturday, this starts to ease the system, but we do have some lingering showers throughout the day. Happy Valley Goose Bay looking at some afternoon showers there. Potential for some afternoon flurries for Lab West and lots of shower action on the island. Lots of cloud cover, not heavy amounts. Looking like the Avalon Peninsula is going to dodge some of that wet weather. So we're looking at a mainly cloudy day, but we could see some drizzle. 20 degrees in St. John's tomorrow, not a bad temperature. The Humidex, it's going to feel more like 26, so it's going to be very humid on the Avalon tomorrow. For Marystown, another 2 millimeters of rain expected to come tomorrow. 15 degrees there, so not quite as warm. 18 degrees with some showers in Grand Falls, Windsor tomorrow, and cooler along the west coast here. 14 degrees in Corner Brook, and the winds from the south, nice and light. As for Labrador, we're looking at a chance of some flurries in the afternoon for Lab West, some showers in the morning, and those showers for Happy Valley Goose Bay. Not huge amounts, though. As we head into Sunday, things start to clear off for Labrador. Things start to clear off for most of the island, but we have this band of rain that's just setting up over the Avalon Peninsula, and you can see some of these flurries coming through on Sunday afternoon for Lab West. So we're looking at cloudy with showers for the east, the Avalon Peninsula, 13 degrees there. For Central, 14 degrees with sun and cloud as well for the west. Very cool in Lab West on Sunday, 4 degrees with a chance of those flurries, and 11 with sun and cloud in eastern Labrador. So as we head into Monday, some flurries there for Labrador, more to come. The island pretty clear with some showers moving in later in the afternoon. So sun and cloud for the east on Monday, 13 degrees. Not a bad day for central areas. Sun and cloud and 15 degrees there, and the chance of some afternoon showers there in the west, and as I mentioned, a chance of flurries in the east and in the west, as well as in the east, with 9 degrees as the high there. And that's your forecast. Anthony, back to you.
Thanks, Karen. Now we have an incredible story to share with you now from the South Pacific, where a passenger jet crashed into the sea overnight and everyone on board survived. Take a look at the images of the crash scene here. Some of you are old enough to remember the U.S. Airways crash on the Hudson River. Yes. Similar situation there, Debbie. The Air Niugini 737 missed the runway while coming in for a landing on an island in Micronesia. And the rescue, also reminiscent of that Hudson crash, saw a flotilla of small boats, as you see there, come to the rescue of all 47 passengers. And what's amazing, also amazing, no serious injuries either. And it's not yet clear why the plane missed the runway altogether.
That was amazing indeed. Now to this story, not quite as nice an outcome. A series of earthquakes hit Indonesia today, triggering a tsunami that measured 3 meters tall. This unverified cell phone video was apparently recorded as the waves hit the city of Palu. Witnesses scream as the crashing sound of the wave hits the shore. The strongest earthquake registered a magnitude of 7.5, but it was followed by numerous strong aftershocks, including a magnitude 6.7 quake. Houses were swept away, and unfortunately we've lost that video there. The houses were swept away by the tsunami, there it is, and families were reported missing. Indonesian TV showed video of a powerful wave hitting Palu with people screaming and understandably running in fear.
Well, after seeing that terrifying, devastating sight, a peaceful image for you to have a look at. This is our viewer photo of the day. A beautiful sunset in the province. I'll give you one hint. This area, if you were listening to my forecast, will be getting a lot of rain overnight tonight.
Is she testing us?
Maybe.
With more than one area getting rain, though, wasn't there?
Lots and lots of rain. I'll have the answer after the break.
Time now to find out who's celebrating birthdays and anniversaries. Happy 90th birthday to Tom Hickey, formerly of Bell Island, now in Cambridge, Ontario. Happy 50th anniversary to Garland and Alma Osmond from Shoe Cove. Happy 62nd anniversary to John and June Parsons from Loon Bay, who celebrated on the 22nd. Happy 57th anniversary to Henry and Joyce Mesher of Paradise River, Labrador, whose special day was the 23rd. Happy 54th wedding anniversary to Sue and Dawson Oak of Gander.
Congratulations to Robert and Minnie Gullidge from Kelligrews on their 62nd wedding anniversary on the 25th. And a happy birthday to Bertha Comden from Howley, who turned 95 on September 23rd. Belated happy 92nd birthday greetings to Gordon White in Catalina, who celebrated on the 16th. A happy 91st birthday to Winnie Rose from Okerpit Cove. And birthday greetings to Nellie Power in Marysvale, who is celebrating her 90th birthday today.
Happy 50th wedding anniversary to David and Irene Bath of Two Good Arm, coming up on October 1st. Happy 53rd anniversary to Gladys and Charles Ford from Port-aux-Basque. David and May Budd of Carbonera are celebrating their 54th wedding anniversary today. Happy 65th anniversary to Bert and Ruby Elliott of Summerford, now in Lewisport. A happy 65th wedding anniversary as well on Sunday to Gordon and Gladys White of Catalina. Mr. White also celebrated his 92nd birthday on the 16th.
And a happy 57th anniversary to David and Effie Hollett in Happy Valley Goose Bay. And a special day today for Melvin and Shirley Gillingham of Cornerbrook. It's their 61st wedding anniversary. Congratulations. And best wishes to Alan and Marg Snellgrove in Northern Arm, formerly of Happy Valley Goose Bay, on their 55th anniversary. Wishing Laura and Stuart Pye from Lodge Bay, Labrador. They celebrated their 53rd anniversary yesterday.
Earl and Joyce Perry of Bloomfield, Bonavista Bay celebrated their 62nd anniversary yesterday. Congratulations. Also celebrating yesterday, Ed and Shirley Eastman of Grand Falls, Windsor. They marked their 60th anniversary. Happy 57th anniversary yesterday to Ronald and Emma Collins of Indian Bay. It's a 50th wedding anniversary for Robert and Loretta O'Brien, who celebrated on Wednesday. Happy 93rd birthday to Eileen Brown in Paradise, formerly of Clarendonville.
And birthday greetings to Gertie Late in Davidsville, who turned 90 years of age on Wednesday. Birthday greetings to Rita Elliott in Buckens, who is turning 90 this coming Monday. And a happy 98th birthday to Max Ford from Bard Island's Fogo Island, who celebrated on the 24th. And a happy 97th birthday to Ira Troke in Gander. Birthday wishes to Ralph Adams, who celebrated 93 years of age on Wednesday. Ralph lives in Milton, Trinity Bay.
Also celebrating a 93rd birthday on Wednesday, Jane Butt in Robinsons. Congratulations. A big happy birthday to Nellie Seward of Lewisport, who is 102 years old. Birthday greetings to Dennis Nash of Branch, who's celebrating his 90th birthday tomorrow, the 29th with his wife of 55 years. Happy 92nd birthday to Jesse Payne of Cowhead, now living in Deer Lake. Happy birthday to Captain Fred Chaffee of Change Islands, who celebrated his 90th birthday on Wednesday. He's a sea captain since his teens, and he started the Change Islands ferry service 50 years ago.
And happy birthday to Peter Keogh, who turns 93 this coming Tuesday. Happy 90th birthday tomorrow to Cecil Thorne from Bayview Twillingate. And happy 61st anniversary to Henry and Edna Crocker of Greens Harbor, who are celebrating today.
And here's our viewer photo of the day. I want to be that duck. It's such a nice scene in the Codroy Valley.
Oh, so beautiful.
Have a great weekend.
Good night,
Bye, everyone.